Hi friends, and welcome back to another vlog. This week is all about settling into a routine now that my internship has started. I was also just coming back from a trip, so I was focusing on getting back on track, but still enjoying and making the most of the nice summer days. So without further ado, get comfy and I hope you enjoy. Morning everyone, it is Monday. It's currently 7:50, so I have to head out soon. I was hoping I could plan out my week this morning, but to be honest, I had to take my sweet time doing my skincare and my whole morning routine. I just got ready for my internship. I feel like this week I'm just focusing on like getting into my routine because obviously I was traveling for a few days and my internship is still fairly new, so I'm also getting used to that schedule. But anyways, I'm gonna head out. My mom is dropping me off at the train station, so I'm gonna have to commute halfway there, but I have a good book I'm reading right now, so that makes the commute a little bit more enjoyable. And let's have a good week. Good evening everyone. I just got back home from my internship and I immediately changed into some comfy clothes. But I had a really good day. As you saw during my lunch break, I went to the park and I journaled a little bit. I always try to get outside as much as possible, either during my lunch break or during the day, just because otherwise I'm sitting at a desk the entire time. And it feels really good. I love to just like get some steps in. I put in my headphones, listen to some music. I've been absolutely loving Olivia Rodrigo's new album. I've always loved her music, but I've never really listened to her album on repeat the way I've been listening to her latest album. For tonight, I'm actually gonna sit outside and read for a little bit while the sun is still out. I feel like normally I would have come home from my internship and just jumped right into editing, but I'm trying to have work-life balance and to make time for myself. So what I really want to do right now is honestly just read my book. I'm actually reading 2 books right now, which is pretty rare. I feel like usually I focus on reading 1 book at a time. I started reading Yesteryear on my iPad, which I'm slowly getting through, but honestly I feel like I have to take breaks from that book sometimes because it can be, I don't know what other way to describe it other than using the word visceral. It's about this trad wife, like homemaking influencer that is all about going back to like the old ways and being very traditional, and then she finds herself waking up one day in the past and stuck in a life that's kind of like about the ideals that she is so vocally promoting online, obviously without the technology and modernity that she's experienced. And the reason I say it's visceral to read is because the character is like very blunt. She's not a likable character whatsoever, and obviously reading the book you're in her head right alongside her, so it can be kind of uncomfortable, I want to say, to read at times, but it's also very interesting and I am enjoying the book so far. So I've been reading that here and there, and then the book I want to read right now is The Wedding People. I'm actually, I believe, halfway through. I brought this with me when I was on my trip because I wanted something that was a bit more of a beach read that I could read, although this is not a traditional beach read in any way. The sun has really decided to come out. Long story short, our main character Phoebe decides to check in at this beautiful historic coastal hotel with the intention of ending her life, and when she gets there, there's this huge wedding party and all of these wedding people, as she calls them, that she was not expecting to run into, and she actually ends up forming kind of an unlikely friendship with the bride. So through their conversations and their friendship, we get to know her and all the events that have led her to this point. I'm enjoying it right now. I'm excited to see where it goes. There was also like kind of another layer that was added to the plot within the guests that are present and the wedding that adds a bit of intrigue, so I'm excited to see where that goes. And yeah, I've been enjoying reading literary fiction lately. I guess it's, I wouldn't say out of my comfort zone, but it's easy for me to rely on genres like thrillers and romance when I'm feeling in a slump, but I always find that my highest rating books are literary fictions. Good morning everyone and happy Tuesday. I'm gonna do a very quick 5-minute makeup routine just to get ready a little bit. I woke up at 6 this morning, which may seem excessively early given the fact that my internship only starts at 9, but I have to commute like a little over an hour to get there, so I like waking up earlier, that way I can take my time in getting ready and doing my morning routine. I'm also wearing a dress shirt today, which I feel like I never wear, and I feel very professional. Like, it seems like I'm getting ready to do a presentation or something and I should have a PowerPoint ready. But honestly, it's the little things. Like, I've been having fun getting dressed, getting ready for the day, and just trying to like find small ways to romanticize my internship. I'm all ready. I think I'm gonna pack the rest of this matcha in a little to-go mug and I'm gonna head out. I can't stop listening to this album. Like, physically, my thumb just goes to click it. I'm quickly jumping in to say a few words from the lovely sponsor of today's video, which is Speak. I'm very happy to be partnering with them on today's video because, as you may know if you've watched a few of my latest vlogs, I have been trying to learn Spanish again. And I've learned some basics of Spanish in high school, but over time I can feel myself losing those skills because I just haven't been practicing speaking the language as much, which is where Speak comes in, because I definitely believe that speaking is the best way to learn and practice a language. There's a few different ways that you can use the app, and you begin by selecting the level that you're starting from. Afterwards, you can use the learning path and follow the lessons, which take you really step by step through common phrases and how to answer different questions or respond. One thing I've noticed is that there's a lot of repetition, which I actually find super helpful because when I'm practicing, it often takes me like a few times before I actually absorb the vocabulary or the common phrase. Not only that, but it also gets me to practice my pronunciation, which is definitely something I don't like practicing, but it's super important. Besides the learning path, there's also a free talk tab where you can find a lot of different conversation topics and different scenarios that will help you practice real life conversations. For example, you can practice ordering at a coffee shop, and this is really meant to mimic real life conversations, but if you ever feel yourself getting stuck or not knowing what to respond, you can of course look up a few different phrases or insights and learn from there. And if ever you don't feel inspired by any of the topics that are already determined, you can also go to the community tab, and there you can find other scenarios that fellow students have come up with. Even though I learned Spanish in high school, I feel like I'm losing a lot of the speaking and conversational skills that I used to have. So my baseline was like I knew how to introduce myself and I could talk a little bit about my likes and dislikes. Me llamo Clarissa. Me gusta el matcha. Me gusta el senderismo. Like, when am I gonna talk about hiking to people? I just know that word for some reason. But anyways, I'm now on day 9 of learning with Speak. This is my streak as credentials. And I've been doing at least 10 minutes every day. I just try to squeeze it in and like habit stack it. So if I'm on my walk during my lunch break, sometimes I'll do my lesson then, or I'll just do my lesson and practice speaking while I'm doing my skincare. I decided to try the elementary level, and the unit I'm on right now is about the weather, which I honestly can't remember learning about in high school. I must have learned it, I just feel like I've forgotten all the vocabulary that I had learned, so this is very helpful. All right, let's review.
How's the weather today?
¿Cómo está el tiempo hoy?
It's a nice day.
El día está lindo. I love how the next section is complaining about the weather. Of course, like, that is the kind of conversation I'll be having with people. Overall, the layout and the structure of the app is super intuitive and all about meeting you exactly where you're at. Whether you have some travel plans coming up that you want to learn a language for, or if you're trying to reconnect with your family or your friends, you can head over to the link in my description and get a 1-week free trial of Speak today. Thank you once again to Speak for sponsoring this part of the video, and let's get back to it. I'm currently at the library to do a little bit of editing. I'm honestly really tired, but I know if I go home I'm not gonna get anything done, and I wanted to be productive, so I'm gonna stay here for like an hour or two. gonna do something that productivity experts do not recommend, but I'm gonna work from my bed for a little bit because I know I'm gonna be sitting at a desk all day and I just want to work but be comfortable, you know? But it's just this once. Happy Friday, everyone. We have made it to the end of this week, and honestly, today is going to be probably just a work from home day. I have so many things I want to catch up on, mostly computer work and editing, but then I also have a few chores and things around the house that I want to get to. And I'm feeling really excited that I get to just stay home today. As you know, I am such a homebody, so I'm just looking forward to not having to leave the house, if I'm being honest. I did not film yesterday, but you really didn't miss out on much. It was pretty much just a repeat of every day I've had this week, and I will say I think I'm slowly getting used to my routine now that I've started my internship. This week has been my first full week at my internship, and it's definitely like obviously been an adjustment. I think the biggest difference that I'm not used to and that I'm slowly I guess acclimating myself to has been leaving the house and like being gone from 9 to 5. I feel like it's getting me to appreciate the time that I do have at home a lot more. That's why today I'm like excited that I get to just stay home and work on my computer. But honestly, it's been nice, and so far I've really been enjoying it. I think the only other thing that I'm still like trying to work into my routine has been working out. Other than going out for a walk on my lunch break, I haven't really been incorporating any movement in my day, and that is something I want to eventually work on because I obviously feel so much better when I am working out a few times a week. But obviously it's tricky. I leave the house at like 7:30, 7:45, and then I only come home at 6 p.m. So unless I were to wake up at like 5 a.m. in the morning, it would be really tricky for me to work out then. And then in the evenings, lately I've just been like a couch potato, honestly. That is definitely a work in progress and something I eventually want to incorporate more, but I also don't want to put too much on my plate. Not every week is going to be 100%, you know, perfect in all areas of my life. I've got my cup of tea. I'm gonna get my computer out and my blue light glasses, and then I think I'm gonna sit on the couch to work from because I just need some couch time, if I'm being honest. Sorry if there's some background noise. My oven is on right now because I'm heating up some lunch, but I've been editing for a little bit, taking a lunch break, and I decided I'm gonna make some lemonade because I want to make a matcha lemonade, and I figured I would film a little reel while I'm doing that. But I just got this tripod recently that I ordered online because so far whenever I'm filming something and I'm both vlogging it but wanting to film it on my phone as well, I have to decide who gets the nice tripod. But hopefully this makes it so that I can film both at the same time. How does this work? I'm confused. Oh. There we go. Oh, there you go. Aha! This thing is high. Fantastic. Wait, this is amazing. I'll use it and I'll let you guys know my thoughts, but I'm gonna make my lemonade now and also have my lunch break.